Welcome to day 39 of our BU 365-day challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the SOAP framework, and we're going to start with the S with respect to our emotions, our emotional well-being. Yesterday, we thought about what emotions do we most want to experience and least want to experience. And hopefully you thought about that, did that, and shared that, because we're going to use one of those emotions today. Either the one you want to experience the most or the one and more of, or the one you want to eliminate and stop feeling in your life. So our S in the SOAP framework stands for our story, the story we're telling ourselves, our emotional story or our emotional situation. We'll start with S, whichever one you resonate with more, use that as your S, story or situation. There's so much talk about stories that it gets confusing sometimes, but we're going to share today a tool, the 5 steps to identifying your story. And we're going to tweak it. We're going to tweak those steps to your emotional situation, your emotional story. Because what we want to do is we want to identify, what is my current story? What is the story I'm telling myself about this emotion, this feeling right now? And then we're going to identify, what do we want? Ideally, perfectly, what do we want our story to be about this emotion? If we're working on a negative emotion like doubt, worry, fear, anger, what is our current story? What do we want it to be? Well, we don't want to feel that very often. We don't want to experience that. We want to make it hard and difficult to experience that. But if we're looking for more love or more success or more appreciation or more gratitude or more gratefulness or more acknowledgement in our life, then we want to, our current story is obviously we don't have enough of that because we want more. So we're going to say then, what is our current story? What do we want our story to be with respect to more love, more success, more whatever it is for you? So we're going to talk about the 5 steps, and then we're going to share, all you're going to do for your action item today is do this exercise for your current situation with respect to the emotion you've selected and your desired situation, because that identifies the gap between where we are and where we want to be. And the rest of the framework, the rest of this week, we're going to use and follow the steps to fill that gap. We're going to begin filling that gap tomorrow. We're not going to wait. We're going to start filling that gap tomorrow, so that by the end of the week, you're automatically moving toward the thing that you want or away from the thing that you don't want in terms of our feelings and emotions. So our action item is just to share the emotion that you're working on in the comments below. So if you're working on, I haven't picked mine yet, so when I pick mine, I will share that in the comments below as well. I haven't picked mine because I talked about love yesterday as the thing I want to feel the most. And I think the thing I want to feel the least, what did I share that? The thing I want to share the least is, I can't read it. So love was the most, something else the least. So I'll pick an emotion today, just like you will, and then I'll go through this exercise. And the exercise, the 5 steps are just simply questions to ask yourself to clearly identify your current situation, clearly identify, we're going to ask the same questions about your desired situation so that we can figure out, well, what is that gap? Maybe we only have a little bitty gap and a couple of things that we can do to experience the things we want all the time. And, or maybe there's, you know, thousands of steps to continually improve for the rest of our life, to experience what we want and to eliminate what we don't want. But chances are there's just a few steps, and we'll share those steps along the way as we go through the rest of the SOAP framework. So what are these questions? What are the 5 steps to identifying your story, your situation? Number 1, you want to identify what makes you feel or experience blank, right? When and what do I feel passionate about? When and what do I feel love? How do I feel love? What makes me feel a certain emotion, the emotion I either want or don't want? Second, where, I gotta grab my notes. Secondly, okay, so when do I notice that I'm feeling a certain way? Because we want to replicate more of the emotions that we don't want, more situations that make us feel that way, so we'll put ourselves in those situations, and then we want to get rid of the ones that don't make us feel the way we want, right? But we need to know and identify when, what are the circumstances that make us feel a certain way? What makes us feel afraid or frightened? What makes us feel unworthy or not good enough? What makes us feel loved and appreciated and awesome? Number 2, where do you spend most of your time? What types of things do you read, watch, and listen to? That can give you a look into the emotions you want to feel, because we read and watch and listen to things. Everything we do is to obtain a certain emotion or feeling, or more of that in our life. Maybe you're reading and studying always business books and career related things because you want to be more successful and make more money. Or maybe you're always watching romances because you want more love in your life, or rom-coms. Maybe you're always watching scary things because you don't want to be afraid in your life. So if you watch a lot of scary things, it makes you feel actually better because you realize that your situation and your lives aren't nearly as scary as the horror films you watch. Number 3, where do you spend your money? Where we spend our money and what we spend our money on is a clear indicator of what's important to us. If all of your money is being spent on things that increase your security and your safety and necessities, that tells you that those emotions are important to you. Feeling safe and secure and comfortable is important to you. If you spend your money, all of your free access money, if you spend it on fun and adventure and gifts for other people, maybe that says that love and relationships and adventure are more important for you. 4th, be honest with yourself, right? Be 100% honest with yourself. Nobody's going to see this. You're just doing this and thinking about this for you, because we're doing one thing every day that improves us. So it's not about what anybody else thinks of you or of this exercise. It's how does it make you feel? What do you think? So be 100% honest and transparent with yourself, with your current situation. Hey, I don't feel loved enough. I want more love in my life. I'm not in a committed relationship. I want to have a relationship in my life. Whatever it is with you, be 100% honest. Both about the positives of the emotion and the negatives of the emotion, right? There's 2 sides to every coin. There's 2 sides to every emotion, and there's really more than 2 sides, but there's at least 2. So remember that there's a positive and a negative to each thing. And then finally, 5, notice what are your aha moments and realizations about yourself and about this exercise and about your current situation. A lot of times we don't consciously think about our emotions or our feelings about anything. We just feel them and experience them and go with the flow of our life, or just go from day to day to day in our life, especially during COVID. Find ourselves just getting through the day a lot of the time. But we want to notice, hey, when is something getting my attention? When am I doing something different or out of the ordinary to change the way I feel? When am I going to the refrigerator or the pantry and eating something just because I'm bored and tired? That would be an example of me and a behavior. If I'm bored or tired or procrastinating, one of the first things I normally do is it triggers me to feel hungry. Am I really hungry? No, I'm just avoiding something, or I want to feel a different way. So one of the quickest, easiest ways to change how we feel is to change our physiology. So those are the 5 questions. 1, how to identify what makes you feel a certain way, if you can. Sometimes we don't know, but by asking the question, all of a sudden we're going to start seeing and noticing these things. So pick your emotion and fill in the blank. I identify what makes me most blank. Make me feel most love, make me experience love, make me, etc. So, and a question to ask yourself about that is, when do I get engaged, either positively or negatively? When do I disengage because I don't want to feel a certain emotion? Number 2, where do you spend most of your time? What do you read, listen to, watch, etc.? Because your attention goes to things that are important to you. So what is your attention getting? 3, where do you spend your money? 4, be honest with yourself, and that should probably be the very first one. Be transparent and honest with yourself. And 5, where do you see and just say light bulb moments, those aha moments? It's like, oh my gosh, how did I never notice that when so-and-so says something like this to me, I feel loved. If somebody tells me they love me, or if somebody gives me a hug, I know that they love me. That would be an example. So do that for your current situation and your desired situation. Pick one emotion, or it's going to be, look how hard it is for me to describe a positive and a negative. Just pick one emotion and go with that. And then just share in the comments below what emotion you're working on as we go through the framework, so I know what kind of examples to give as we're talking through the framework, and it's more effective for you. I haven't picked mine, but I'll pick mine. It'll probably be, I don't know, maybe it'll be something I want to feel less of, right? Maybe it'll be indecisive, right? right? Maybe I'll feel less indecisive or more involved or more engaged. I don't know. I'll pick two. I'll pick one. I just said pick one, and then I said I'm going to pick two. I will pick one. One either positive or negative. If you want me to pick a positive or a negative, share in the comments below. If you want me to do the same emotion that you share, say that in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll pick mine and I'll go through my example. That's it. Any questions? Hit me up. 5 questions to ask yourself about your current story and your desired story, because that's going to create the gap that we fill throughout the rest of the week. All right. I'll be with you tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Just do one little thing every day to improve you. Bye. I will too.